Welcome back to another Badfish Garage, and today is the fourth and final installment of our engine pull on the Valiant, so let's get going. Okay, so I've run into a problem. If I'll get down here, let's turn on the light. So, this being a homebrewed car, these obviously aren't any kind of factory 63 motor mounts or anything, but I am having a hard time finding out how I'm going to get a wrench in there to undo the motor mount bolts. This side doesn't seem too bad. I was able to get a wrench in there, but even my stubby wrenches hang on everything in there. So I don't know. I'm going to have to do some finagling and get Tim to help me out. But, I mean, I looked over on the Barracuda because these engine bays are basically the same thing. And it's a different motor mount. But I still can't figure out how I would get a wrench on the back of it there. It's really small, so I might have to work with extensions. I've seen people pull these out with the exhaust manifolds on, so I know I can keep those on. Just, it looks like I have to take them off maybe? I don't know. So I'm going to scratch my head a little bit. Okay, Tim's here. Hi, Tim.
Hi.
And we figured out what we're going to do. So we can get a 3/4 socket on here on the bottom of the motor mount, and then a 3/4 on the back to release that. We'll have to remove the power steering pump on this side to get at the other bolt that's in there. If you can you see it? Yeah, you can see it right in there. And then do the same thing on this side to get the transmission unhooked. Because these cars never came with a floor-mounted console. It was push-button automatic in this one. Or at least I don't think they came with a floor-mounted console, but either way, this one was custom-made.
Look how pretty the brindle is.
Yeah, look at that. But there's 2 screws that seem to hold it down. We'll get the other one in the shot right there. And then this was home built to shift it, so we're going to get this console off to see what we need to do to unhook all of this linkage and be able to pull the transmission from, or be able to pull the engine and the transmission at the same time. Okay, got the console out. That was pretty easy. It looks like this has been welded in place with this makeshift shifter linkage going to the actual shifter. So we're going to have to get under the car and see if we can remove it from here. Maybe take this plate off as well, because this is all floorboard, and see if we can get this thing out. The guy got it in here, so there's got to be some way to do it, right? Okay, so the bar comes through the cut floorboard, through here. That acts as a pivot point where it shifts this, where it pulls this bar, and that's how it actually shifts. So it looks like we can just take that bar out. It looks like it just slips right through. I don't see anything holding it into this thing.
You know how we can test it?
How?
Let's get a small hammer and give it a tap, see if it moves.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Okay, speedo cable and all the linkage is disconnected, including the cooler lines. So the transmission is now free. Now we can focus on the motor mounts. So the passenger side motor mount is the problem. I'm just able to get that wrench on there. Just able. In fact, I don't even have enough room to put my hand around it. I'm just going to have to hold it with my fingertips. But the driver's side is clear. And so, yeah, I think we're going to have a good time with the driver's side. Passenger side will be the troublesome part. All right, got the nuts off. Bolts out on this side, if you can see it there. There you go. Okay, so I wanted to get you under here to kind of show you what I'm working with. There is no room in these early A bodies, and it makes sense. They weren't really designed for a V8. I mean, they fit them in here later on and didn't really change much as far as the engine compartment, but look at where this starter sits. It is almost impossible. I'm not sure how you would get this out, even if you had to change the starter. The only way that I could see is just dropping the whole center link in this. But the real issue will be the exhaust. Now, I think I can get a Sawzall in here and cut that like right along in here, but I'd still have to deal with this somehow. And yeah, I could probably fit a Sawzall like right in here to cut this, but still, it's, I mean, the exhaust is right up on the torsion bar stuff. Not a lot of room to work with. Maybe you could get, is there room? Is there room up in here? Maybe you could, no, maybe. I'm not sure, but thankfully we're not removing the starter off the engine before pulling it. Yeah, just not a lot of room. And also, show you another reason why we want to change this. This has been cut and welded on right here. That's the pitman arm, I believe. Yeah. That's, I don't know about that. I mean, it seemed strong and it was driving, but we're gonna replace all that with the Barracuda stuff. But yeah, not a lot of room. You can definitely tell these were not engineered to have a V8. So I applaud the guy for being able to get this in here and being able to hook everything up. I'm at a loss, and it's worse over here. As you can see, the exhaust, I can probably get an extension up there, but the other side of it is completely blocked by the torsion bar, and I can maybe sneak a socket past it to get in there. Okay, I have tested with the Sawzall. I can get it in there to get that exhaust pipe out for the engine pull. So now I'm gonna go to work. Oh, come on. Let's see. Oh, this is gonna suck. Oh, it's everywhere. Oh. Wait, I can. Yeah, hang on. Let's try it. Going from the side. Oh. Got it. That is satisfying. Okay. Looks like we'll be able to clear. Okay. So where I cut it off, we should be able to at least pull the engine out enough, if not the full way, but enough to get it off and clear anything, or just pull it out the full way. Now, over here, it kind of looks like I can just Let me see what I can do on this one. Can I get it in? I don't like that cut. Is this even? Huh. Now. Huh. Maybe I can get it. It leaves me no room to push down. Well, yeah, not easy enough. I wonder if I can go from the bottom. Can't even see. But was that enough? Almost there. Almost there. I wonder if I could. Got it. Okay. As you can see, exhaust done. Okay, so here's where we are on the engine pull. Our main problem is I think I put too much length in the chain, and so now our ball is caught. So what we've had to do is push it over to twist it to get the thing to the back to level off. There may be too much length in the chain, but we're gonna get it. If I've gotta stand in there and push the transmission up to get it over, we're gonna get this.
One way or the other, one of us is not going to have an engine in us this evening. Whether it's you, Car, or me, one of us is going to be engine free by the time the sun goes down.
All right, the engine is out.
One way or another, one of us is leaving here this evening without an engine.
And that was our first engine pull ever for both of us. So this is a very glorious day. But now that the engine's out, we want to get in here and kind of show you more what was going on and why we're changing things up, why we're switching K members and all the other stuff from the Barracuda.
Hold on.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Booger welds everywhere. Everywhere. Somebody clearly custom did this. Kudos to them. But buddy.
Yeah. If you look in here, they installed these spool mounts, but did it in such a way that it was booger welded. It was pretty bad, pretty badly done. I mean, I don't know if I can do much better, and I mean, it held, so I mean, I guess it must be worth something, but still, it was, we can do better. We've got a K member out of that Barracuda right there, and we're gonna pull that, the motor, the transmission, all of it, and we're gonna put it inside of here. The transmission in this is a 904, so it should fit a lot better than that 727. The other thing too was because they had the 727, they had to modify the cross member, and they cut and welded on this thing something pretty fierce. It just, it's not good. So again, we're gonna use all the parts from this Barracuda and we're gonna put them in there.
You can build it better, faster, stronger than it was before, and probably properly welded.
Exactly. Oh, one last thing we're going to do. Right here, there was a hump originally in here that you've got to take out in order to get the distributor to fit. They took it out, but this is some kind of fiberglass, it looks like. I think I'm gonna go on ahead and get in there and just put a piece of metal in there, shape it to fit, and then put it in there. I'm not the best welder, but I at least can do a bead well enough to put it in there and then grind it down. So.
You know, I honestly should not talk as much mess on the welds that are in there. My welds may not be pretty, but they hold. That's what I've always said. And honestly, like Johnny said, they might be booger welds,
but well, they did hold.
Yeah, they did hold. This was a running and driving car for a lot of years. I didn't drive it a lot of years, but I mean, at least had the ability to run and drive a lot of years. So, but that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you like this comment, or if you like this content, and tune in with us next week when we'll be back here for more fun. Take care.